This on the other side, waiting for anyone to try and kill themselves. It's going to be DEATHMAKER on the chamber. And boy, does that chamber pistol ring on out. Smoke's off for the moment. The spam through the smoke is more successful from Rawfiel, taking away that headhunter. Sage caught with a knife out. RVK grabs themselves a freebie. And now Velocity Gaming are running low on personnel in a 2 versus 4. So many corners that need to be checked, but Right to Wait is creating some good distance here. And an excellent crossfire with their compatriot in Amaterasu. For now, Rexy not noted at first, easy. After that, the shots begin to move on forward. Amaterasu's friend keeps going mad. Sure, they've lost that one a friend, but it's the crossfire.
It's a really well-timed molly. It's going to be about kind of 18 seconds before that molly fakes, but it's a false negative. He backs out there. It's going to be all on Rawfiel to hold this site, Harry.
Rawfiel with the world on his shoulders here. DEATHMAKER instantly into the crosshairs of a Vandal. And the Vandal will claim that blood. Just at the end of a time limit in default. We're going to be spike plant here on B. And there's the rolling thunder. Defensive efforts made, but Amaterasu still can't move the door off the back of this. Excali, though. No more than one will they be claiming, and while MW1 may try to tap and keep that spray under control, it's Rawfiel who's simply more accurate in this case.
They're just trying to keep it clean, keep it tight, don't overextend.
When it comes to tight, Excali's aim is as tight as they come. Amaterasu's slain already. And now waiting within this smoke. MW1, I'm afraid I'm the only neon here. No need for my shadow self. You go into the shadow realm, baby. Maker does go down to half, puts down their teleporter. But the swing from Rawfiel, or Rawfiel rather, pardon me, is fast enough and more than deadly enough. The fast lane used. Oh, a run through there from hell. Brave, as it's going to be the Quadra from Excali. One's cut off by a singular smoke here, Grammar. Out goes the fast lane, and Excali considers maybe moving inside of that. Down goes an orbital strike, but it isn't going to be claiming any lives here. Instead, helff going to be taken down instead by the Vandal. A counter orbital strike. Everybody's moving on in. It's concussions for everyone, and Excali somehow finds themselves within the orbital strike. The right to ace called down on top of their head. It's not the biggest beam coming through from the neon, but still. Right to ace is exercising their right to kill, and Rawfiel forced away for a moment with a tour de force. And now, does hear the plant moves on forward. The quick scope, not good enough. Taking a risk here. Gone for the op buy. But maybe they might not even have to use it. However, Antidote gets their first frag and the second. This player did not have a frag moving into the round, Kremmer, but now that's all changed. With their pants down, maybe even with a knife out here. Oh, there it is, seen. However, a little bit of a flub. Amaterasu with the turnaround and the headshot. Unbelievable. Excali's been slain. Down to a 2 versus 2, Kramer. Except for the concussion. Unbelievable. Amaterasu's now made the swap over. DEATHMAKER might give this one a look. Fault lines exchanged, and Amaterasu forced out and broken down by the Vandals. Oh! Unbelievable. Instead of me.
Yeah, it was a reverse bully. And that aforementioned player, Rawfiel,
Rawfiel's
fuel to the fire.
Oh, this is a very tough time to be the chamber, though. MW might have actually moved into their own stun here somehow. Still Enigma fragging out. Your thunder means nothing to me. I am Zeus. I am Overlord. I am Rawfiel, and I am...
Mostly are on the precipice of being reset, and they don't really have a solution.
Oh, already. Exchanges of 5. That's a lovely blind there. Antidote slain. MW1, surely there's nothing more that can be gained here on Dish. An attempt at concussion, which Rexy will be able to backpedal their way out. Anyone who might check upon the flank. Still here for Velocity. There is going to be multiple members remaining. For once, Grammar, it's not Velocity having to clutch with 2 members. A legitimate numbers advantage. And we know that Rawfiel here, he's going to be playing to save this operator. He's got 50 credits, man. This is kind of like a trump card map. It's a lot newer. MW1 already taken down. RVK is a mad one today. Kremmer and Excali's like, I heard you praising my teammate. Don't forget about the big boy on the neon, huh? Don't waking up in these later rounds. Molly brought on in. RVK running low on options. Sprints on out and is taken down instantly by right to ace. But it's Antidote playing from the high ground who manages to find this. Amaterasu with a little bit of a flub, but manages to pick it up later. And now the next move's on in. Amaterasu's
oh my god!
Headshot after headshot, and Amaterasu.
There's a 3-man flank as well.
Yeah, this is huge. Amaterasu caught out for a moment. RVK goes up big. Amaterasu is the magic again. You better believe what it is. There's another triple from Amaterasu. 2 rounds in a row. The man is bloodthirsty and unbelievable. Maybe it could be converted. A teleport away. Rawfiel. Heavy weaponry. But maybe not the breaching capacity. have themselves an advantage when it comes to the numbers. Look at this. Antidote actually waits below. Anyone who would dare to try and escape that falls within the sight line of the judge. And once again, it has to be a clutch from the side of Velocity. Enigma. Hour of pain for you, mate. Broken by the shorty. There's DEATHMAKER, looks for one head, won't find a second. And there's the swap over to the classic. A longer engagement range is going to be proffered on over, but Enigma Gaming once again playing from a man deficit.
Ooh.
And Rexy simply didn't move away from a breach utility. RVK low on health and more so than ever. In these pistol rounds, that is what's most important. Still, Antidote has options. With the spike in hand, Antidote can sprint away here. Point as we hear both of these players approach. They're not being very subtle about this. The Frenzy's going to run out of ammo soon, Kremer. Caught back by the Brimstone. That Molotov incendiary at their feet, making things a touch more difficult. An attempt maybe to retake here from Velocity Gaming. Don't know if they lose this round. It's back to the eco anyway, so might as well give it a go and try to frag on through Rawfiel. The first to fall down, and that's going to be the high ground cleared by the incendiary. DEATHMAKER knows that Antidote is close, but that's a looted Spectre that's used to take down its former owners, who even knew that this could have allegiance. The RVK from far away has set up the utility, and that's checkmate, baby. Antidote in default seems a fairly safe spot, and so it will be. Oh, an Antidote. Moving in quickly once again with the frags. Remember, this is basically an anti-eco here as Velocity. They fumbled their own buy up to the Spectres. Rexy with a huge advantage on right to ace. And it seems like Enigma Gaming, they'll only fall to the fumble. Was that a run for through there?
Follow-up aggression.
Right to ace, moving on through. That's a beautiful flash just in the nick of time. RVK could not see anything coming, but Excali from the back. A little bit of a phantom diff, hell. Your will meant nothing to the trio that would rack on through, but DEATHMAKER, oh, the making is good today, Kremer. A pair fall into his grubby little mitts, and Enigma Gaming are running low on personnel and hope.
This is worrying for Enigma here. Last player called out. MW1 finishes the job.
Almost ready for that defensive breach. Right to ace. Gives it a look. Rexy wins the Brimstone duel, but do they expect for there to be a lurker this close? DEATHMAKER grabs one, but can't escape. Unable to leave while concussed. And now there is going to be an aggressive land grab. Oh, go and samurai you, Amaterasu. Not anymore, says Rexy, moving over into one of the default plant spots. A little bit deeper than the usual. And this can be occasionally vulnerable. MW1 sliding on forward. You see me for a frame, and that's all that you get. Once again, speed and ferocity are the names of the game, Kremer. No more TPs, but the concussion. DEATHMAKER's good for one, and in the circumstances, that will do. Antidote tries to flash his way out onto the side, but no one's waiting there physically. Instead, it's the wraparound from behind. RVK sees the first, might get concussed as Amaterasu wraps around the corner and takes out their counterpart on the breach. Look at this. The post-plant positions from Enigma here are so strong. They've got so much covered. Rexy with the bounce on the Molotov is going to make sure that this door is thoroughly suppressed. However, random shots may decide to take their life for now. It's time to play to live, drawing breath more important for now than claiming frags as Velocity Gaming. They have to scarper, whimper, and flee. Paranoia is beginning to set in. You can see that the Sage is beginning to list this way, but at the moment still... Oh, the timing. It could be everything. It's easy. Excali will now call in the backup. Drag over the spike, boys and girls. I've opened up the site. Head for this battle. Already lost out on the only vandal that was in their hands. I do believe Amaterasu might give this one a go. Helff has fallen over, and Antidote with another 3 here. This could be Velocity Gaming losing out on their own map. Pick Rawfiel! Unbelievable aim! Aiming down the sights, and Helff just waddles on into them. Enigma Gaming with a 5 versus 3 and a sight all of their own to the defuse, using that orbital strike. There's no saving after this. It's going to have to be the Rolling Thunder from the breach. RVK within the smoke is mown down by MV1. It's just when you make your move. If you do happen to be the breach on the attack, MW1 sees Excali, but it's going to be the alternate Neon, the better Neon. Antidote will finish it off, and Enigma Gaming steal away the map pick of Velocity.
But Rexy can wield this Killjoy to optimum efficiency that we could very well see Enigma pull away with a 2-0.
Good God, the breaching. DEATHMAKER is a little bit different when it comes to the Headhunter. Static defense, you may not like it, Kremer, but it's working just fine right here. The Haunt gets multiple pings, and that's going to be Helff, bringing in the Sheriff as well. Enigma Gaming here, they have bought into this round. This is where they are supposed to be at an advantage, and indeed they shall be. Of course, the fragment needs full LOS to be used, and I don't think that in the top right of your screen is the layup that was wanted. Antidote simply built different, blinded up for a second, but that's okay. They can simply take cover in hell as Excali with more time, and maybe a backstab from the Sova could be everything. helff sees at just the correct time, and the backstab is nowhere near good enough. DEATHMAKER moves on forward now with the tour de force in hand. Excali has fallen down, and it seems like that tour de force can't even find an enemy. It's RVK for the back.
No!
1, 2, 3, yo!
He's done it!
Baby, that's a clutch and a 4K. Their plant now, that gives over. The Hunter's Fury, however, trapped on the site, and DEATHMAKER takes out Antidote. Your flank means nothing to me. And while these bursts will give over a little bit of information, the null command moves on forward. That's one. helff continues. Sends out a little bit of that fade utility. DEATHMAKER on the other side. That's going to signal for helff to move on in, but RVK's done it again. Surely not. DEATHMAKER picks up a third. They can cling to this Blade Storm as well. Not needed for Enigma at the moment, of course. Plenty of money to try and work with. helff taken down by Excali. And Amaterasu with the fragment has fragmented the attack of Enigma. Velocity have stopped the attack in its tracks, but Antidote feels that the poison can be sucked out, the venom can be released. Nobody wants to be the player to give away that man advantage. But look at this. Amaterasu around the back sends out the flash. That knows where one is, but it's right to waste on the other side. RVK can't win the 1 versus 3. All right, RVK, certainly the avatar of destruction right here. On this map, Rawfiel with a double. RVK slain, sure, but at this moment, is there much that can be done by velocity? And think about how condensed these positions are as well from Enigma Gaming. There's the movement. Straight onto the point goes the Rainer. MW1, what? I just exhaled so hard. They've got themselves another one. MW1, the hero. No, it's simultaneous sheriff heads. Sova maintains the silence, the backstab, but there is no trigger discipline here, Kremer. The frenzy taken down, but it's the next one. MW1 with the Spectre, who manages to remove RVK and, of course, claim his weapon for themselves. Right, it's only a 4 versus 3, but a weaponry advantage, that much is a certain. MW1, the only one with a Vandal, seems to be putting it to good use. For a second, the knife comes out. Antidote takes the corner, and now Rawfiel waits for helff to come on in. It's only a sheriff in hand, but they weren't even looking at Rawfiel anyway. The Korean Air Princess takes out the Goth GS. Sieges of Enigma. Rawfiel already falling down by right to waste. DEATHMAKER puts one into the chest of Rexy, but right to waste has fallen down in the meantime. A chamber still around alongside the Fade, and the KO is slowly rotating on. Too important to risk, but RVK is not in a position where they can really find any cover. Out goes the fragment that'll force RVK out, and as you start to move, you start to drop. The bullets move forward, and oh my goodness! Down goes the alarm bot. And MW1 is likely going to be triggering this. That's a skirt scene of a head taken off. Rexy clean with the Phantom. And DEATHMAKER wants to double down, try their luck, see if anything can be done. But it's Amaterasu elsewhere who's managed to do the most for velocity. Caught with a flash in hand, and Rawfiel flashes the muzzle flare.
Prime position to just punish Rawfiel here for any misstep. And Rawfiel has the spike.
That break on the window as well. Who was responsible for that? Backstab 1, 2. No, the second is only a little tap here and there to keep the chamber at odds. But now time is becoming an issue. Kremer right to ace. If he is judicious with where they make their move, they might be able to find one. That is the spike planted though. 1v2. No chance, mate. Anything more here? Maybe a shock dart or two. The headhunter moves on forward. Excali, what was that? Absolutely bloody disgusting. RVK has finished off yet another with a shock dart, and that's going to be the bolt of Zeus wrecking through the nerves of velocity. The Enigma has arrived. With perspective, there's no tracers, so you can spam basically for free, but DEATHMAKER exacts a heavy toll of his own. The headshots do take out one. Right to ace. If they can get a plant here, 5's good for velocity. That's even more money to try and move on forward, Lemma. Lemma? Kremer? Might be.
Thank you, Lena. Flash out.
Rexy's just barrel stuffing at this point, and that's going to be the anti-eco working out.
Remain is there from the utility. However, as mentioned, once the attack comes, there's no real way to stop it.
What a great force there from Enigma. Unfortunately, the door shuts out the owl drone. RVK moving so fast here. Unafraid to announce their presence. Look at this. Up high is the Omen, right to ace. Moving weirdly here, hiding behind Amaterasu, but that's just fine. The hail of bullets hits pay dirt and Enigma. Look at that. A forcing of movement. Still, helff should not have got away with one there. The Spectre surely can't finish this. The right click won't connect.
Down, so Antidote is now very alone holding the site.
However, he is the one with the weapon, but the weapon hits the floor. Enigma in trouble here. Amaterasu moves to intercept RVK. No clutches this time, please, Sova. I'm going to opt out of that. Rawfiel, what a flick upwards. Enigma now have themselves a way to try and move back in, but it won't be supported by ultimates. Can down, maybe force some crosshairs to move. MW1 is on it when it comes to this. Rawfiel slain. MW1 is simply built different when it comes to the ascent map here. Crema. It's a run and a hide and a save.
I'm not cancelled out by Rexy. He has given his position away, and here comes that Nightfall.
The Knight certainly has fallen. Antidote looks to counter it here. Near sight onto one, onto two. It's a quick double and a TP forward. I'll be taking that spike. Thank you, sir. You won't be needing that, will you? There is going to be multiple players noted out here by helff, but of course they lose their life in the midst of all of this, and now the operator still in play. MW1 grabs one. Surely not a second. Look at those remnants that remain. Only the scattered fragments of Rawfiel's skull, but now access to the spike. It's going to be taken from under his nose. Oh, no way. A move back onto A. A 2 versus 2. Can Enigma recapture the clutch that previously they held? Yes, they can! Antidote!
Not out. Velocity. Go, I'm really up the pace here, going for a fairly fast play with the speed side. And MW1 tries to just gut it. Sounds brave.
Well, oh my goodness. Multiple pings, multiple kills. The Bulldog will feast today. On in, Enigma started tighten the noose. A strikeout here from a chamber, but they're struck out themselves by Antidote once more. Who is proving to be the clutch factor here for Enigma as Rawfiel covers the exit. Oh, I've got a permit for this one. That went down between right to Ace's legs. And, well, I think the baby maker's okay, but Rawfiel certainly ain't, Crema. And right to Ace is built different, baby. He's got the Matrix on his side with 5 HP remaining. There's a caricature of right to Ace on the wall behind him now. Skali's interest. That's going to be once again taken away. If you can get a backstab here, this might be it for RVK. Until that tour de force comes back, he's so vulnerable. DEATHMAKER taken on down. And now, the duel for the point, the 2 versus 1. The crossfire's too strong. Have you even got the plant right now? helff forced to back away by the shock dart. One side looked at, the other ignored. A pair of initiators on either side. They have a prisoner on this area as helff looks to try and channel this one. But guess what? No one's taken the bait. Excali simply waits for their moment. Premier stall deployed by the nanoswarm. Rexy on one side. RVK can't survive. But guess what? Rexy's here and ready to frag. A movement forward. Rawfiel's arrived. A bad game, you say? No! I'm simply waiting for the perfect moment to arise myself. 3 versus 3 for null command. No utility allowed. Moving on forward. Flash. Here, will it be delivered? Amaterasu still wins that one out, but it was all a bait after all. Rawfiel's got the knives from the top, and now you need to look for the double players in hell. Descend into Tartarus and sail the river Styx. Charon will be your guide, and Hades will be your lord. helff brings it towards the end, and it's MW1. The timing is absolutely terrible for Rawfiel.
That's heartbreaking.
But it does confirm the presence. Rexy is so bloody
Oh my god!
All hail the Enigmus Rex.
It's going to be crucial to velocity. Rexy, what a round! The chamber doesn't overstay as welcome. Instead, Rexy, the hero of last round, gets the opening.
Oh, Rexy, the double from Amaterasu. Anything you can do, I can kill better. Now, the breach onto B. Rawfiel waiting alone here. With the operator, not ideal, and these multiple foe scenarios, and they can't even take out the first. The interception comes on through, but RVK quicker on the trigger than MW1. 2 players, I believe, have been noted here. There's the Nightfall. Rexy, a trail will lead them. RVK catches helff with hell in the hand basket and delivers it thusly. Rexy has arrayed their forces. DEATHMAKER has an operator, yes, but what they do not have is the numbers. An open area, a confirmed presence, a second movement forward. DEATHMAKER, will they be fast enough here? On the swing, RVK gets it finished. Higher and higher and harder and harder. There's the flash here. Amaterasu trying to move on in. That's a double! And that's velocity. Now in dire straits, Crema. They're all out of mulligans. There are no more second chances. You win or you die. Antidote is slain. Rawfiel is tempted. They wait, and patience is rewarded as an apex predator will claim yet another pound of flesh. 2 versus 4. 1 versus 4. It's 3 for Rawfiel. It's Rexy on the flank, and it's Excali who finishes as they drive the sword into the heart of Velocity, stopped in their tracks, and discovered the Enigma.